Hey folks, Charlie Sims here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you are having a lovely day. And today we will be fixing one of EA's builds, this huge mansion in Strangerville, and we will be fixing it in one video right here, right now, not multiple parts, just one video. And before we get started on the actual fixing of the house, I just wanted to talk about some of the problems, the reason why it needs fixing. So straight away, it looks like quite a nice house from the front, actually. Like, effort has definitely been made. I like this big porch, I like the big balcony, but what stands out to me is just this path here that just kind of like stops. I think it looks so weird. Another thing as well is we've actually got some terrain paint that looks similar to this, so I think some blending could have actually been done here. Like, I think the door can actually start by that path there. I also don't like that little gate. I think it's so tiny in comparison to this huge house, and I don't like this gate inception they've got going on either. So in the world, there's actually a gate, so it looks like the house is gated already, but then EA have put a gate around the lot. So I think we can definitely remove that. So let's move on and let's look at the side of the house. But the front is the best part. It goes downhill from here. So the side here, I really don't like this circular roof that they've got. I can see what they're trying to do, but it doesn't really fit with the octagonal room that they've got underneath. So yeah, I think they should just stop trying to make circular roofs work, and I think instead we should put a circular balcony. I think that would look really nice. This balcony's nice, the curvature's nice, but we've got some green edging, and the rest of the edging is black, and then the edging kind of stops there. So not great. If we go to the back is really depressing. So it looks like the rooms from the front have been pulled out, it's been roofed, and there's been some windows put down. The Victorian detail kind of ends, and it just looks like the house ends without any real thought of how to make the back look better. A redeemable moment, this side building, this octagonal building, all of the windows are aligned and there's a window on every wall, and I think that actually looks really nice. Would really like to incorporate some octagonals in our build. I have decided that this is not salvageable, so this isn't a renovation. We're going to straight bulldoze and we're going to start again. And I actually also think we could have a bit of a garden. So I think if we just make, because this house is huge, so if we just make the house a little less wide, we can put a garden onto the right, and I think that would make so much more sense. Like, you've got such a huge house and just no garden. Also, I really don't know why EA did make it so large, because if we go inside, it's so sparsely furnished, and I know obviously EA don't fill their builds with too much furniture because they want computer inclusivity. So every computer, regardless of your CPU and specs, you know, it still performs well. So I get that, but we're not doing computer inclusivity today. I'm going to furnish this. So yeah, I get why they did it, but also there is no excuse for that floor pattern. So yeah, I think we're going to be furnishing this a lot better. And yeah, just straight bulldozing it. So without further ado, let's get right to it, shall we? So we're going to start the renovation by bulldozing the house, so I guess not a renovation. I'm going to make a box that's a little bit smaller, so as you can see we've got a little bit of room for a garden there to the right. This is me making a circular balcony. We did have a bit of a circular roof moment in the initial EA build that I quite liked, but it was roofed terribly, and I thought maybe we could have a bit of a balcony at the front. I've looked at some pictures on Pinterest and they seem to have a lot of these like circular balconies on Victorian builds. Just a lot of balconies. I do love a good Victorian build. We're going to have a big raised platform and porch onto the front that wraps around the whole building as well. I think that would be pretty standout as well. The Roswells I've read are Ted Roswell is the mayor of Strangerville, and he lives with his wife. Because I have a save file where I've played in Strangerville, I haven't played them, and Mrs. Roswell, my God, what's her name? I can't remember, but she autonomously becomes pregnant without me playing them, so I think she wants a baby, or he wants a baby, well, I guess they both want a baby. So we do end up adding a nursery, because there ends up being a lot of rooms in this place. So I'm like, what could we possibly add? But yeah, we'll get onto the interior when we get inside the house. This is still me just working out the front. I do think about making it 3-story, but we end up just making it 2. So yeah, so we have like 2 octagonal porches on opposite ends of the build, and this is just me. I do think about having a basement, but it just ends up being non-functional, and this is me just adding the circular roof to the octagonal porch, and I actually think that looks fine. It covers the porch, and yeah, so I think about doing that, but we do remove that. And yeah, so there's 2 sets of stairs leading into the house, and we later move this house so that it aligns with that terrain paint, as I said in my little intro, the slander of EA I was doing. Not EA, just this particular build. Really happy with the most recent Snowy Escape that they decided to ask the EA Game Changers to build the lots. I think that was really good of them. So obviously, you know, we're not going to be able to renovate EA's builds anymore if they keep doing things like that. But I build anyway, like regardless, even if the build's good, like I'm going to continue building. And I have managed to build quite a bit on Snowy Escape, even though the builds are just phenomenal. Just because it's just so fun, right? Like, so fun. But yeah, so I've basically done the front, and this is when I decide to just make it 2-story. And now I'm working out the side. And yeah, I think I later put a little balcony on this as well, just to add that extra detail. And yeah, do a lot of faffing about with the porch to get it to work. So yeah, this is just me creating the shape of the one side. I think the exterior does take me a while. I think like the furnishing is a little bit quicker, but the exterior certainly takes me, you know, a long time to work out. I'm working from a load of reference pictures, and then I'm going back thinking, how can I add detail, yada yada yada. And then I think, let's have a big porch and some stairs down to the back garden. That kind of is to the right, because there's literally no back garden. Like, there's just a little pathway because this lot is so wide. And I really like what I do here. So I just add like a little extra balcony on top of this roof. I think that looks really pretty. And we do make the second floor medium wall height as well, so that it just looks, it's got a bit more length, because it looks pretty short at the moment. And yeah, the great thing about platforms, what I find is you don't need to like faff about so much with the roof. So I just pull the roof across the balcony, and then I raise the platform of the balcony so that the roof's not intersecting with the balcony, which is great. Like, platforms, they just make life easier. It's great for that. And a similar thing for my circle balcony at the front. I wanted to drag the roof down so we didn't just have the roof stop in the middle, in the middle. So, and what I did was just raise the platform, and, all good. There's no intersection. And this is me working out the side. And I think this is basically, this is the exterior. So we're working on the windows, and the colour scheme does start to be really plain. I think I'm just using like default green at this point, but I do want to change the colour scheme to be a bit better, and it does end up being quite dark, like kind of dark academia, I guess, is the kind of feel for the back. And I really struggle with some of the window placements here, but we end up making it work. This is me just faffing about with it, and then I use the cats and dogs doors. But when we come up with, when we find a swatch basically on all of these porches that is just absolutely stunning, and it's unique to all of the Strangerville items, so we remove all of the cats and dogs things. And actually, I think the exterior is mostly base game, and then it's just base game and Strangerville on the exterior. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm doing pretty well, but then we go to the inside, and I'm like, God, I can't furnish with base game. One of these days, I'll do a base game only build, and it will be a massive challenge for me. But this is just us working out the floor plan for the inside. And sorry if this is a bit, I've sped this up 8 times, so it might be hard to kind of follow what's happening on the floor plan initially, because I'm like jumping about everywhere and just changing a lot of the rooms and removing walls, etc. Because the current floor plan, we have like a really tiny kitchen. So I'm like, we can't have a tiny kitchen in this build. So I end up actually making the kitchen a bit too big, and we end up being able to fit a dining table, and then there's like a miscellaneous seating area all in the kitchen, as well as like a nice big island and everything. So I then end up having to change the original huge lounge to be like a study and then just like a family room. Because yeah, as I said, we do add a nursery because they're thinking about, having a baby. In my mind, that's what I think. And yet this is just us working out the floor plan on the second floor. And this is when I find this swatch, and I'm like, oh my God, this swatch is stunning with the orange and the dark green. And this kind of dictates the rest of the colour scheme. And I do think of going red, but then we find this darker wallpaper for the sliding, base game sliding this is, and I think, oh, that's stunning. We also change all of the columns to be brown, all of the trims brown. There's no stark white trim, just because I think it looks a bit too much against the dark. And yeah, this is just me going through changing all of the swatches of all of the windows that we've put down. So I do cut this a fair bit. This is me adding some grey trim before finding the brown and thinking that actually looks a bit better. Yeah, and we also changed the columns and everything as well. And now I'm just adding a bit of detail to this hexagonal bit with those columns from Get Together. So I actually don't just do base game and Strangerville on the exterior. Okay. Oh, that's disappointing. But never mind. So this is just us darkening up. And I actually think this is stunning. I really like this. And those, oh yeah, of course, it's not a base game and Strangerville on the exterior, because we use these Realm of Magic windows, and I just love that stained glass look we get with them. And then I decided to just put some yellow flowers around as like a little accent colour against the orange and the green windows. I think that looks really nice. And this is just us adding a load of plants and foliage, miscellaneous foliage. Yeah, just making the place look more natural, although it's quite polished. That being said, it is quite polished. But yeah, there's so much landscaping here. Sorry, I'm being really slow at the moment, but I soon find that if you just hold shift click on a plant, you can like pull them out really fast. So I'll do that in a minute. You'll be happy to know. And this is just me adding the pebble, which I think actually merges perfectly with the world. That's why I don't know why EA didn't decide to use that base game terrain paint, because it just merges so nice. And obviously the surrounding area is all fenced as well. Yeah, so this is me doing the garden. So I do end up removing the swing after like realising, of course, they don't have kids. I swear I'm just on autopilot making a family house at this point. And then I'm just like, they don't have kids. Why do they need the monkey bars and a swing set? So I remove that. And then we put down like a bit of a greenhouse, actually. And then some bee boxes and just like miscellaneous outside things, really. But it ends up being quite rustic, the left side, just to match the surroundings. But we do pave the the back, so there's like a bit of a pathway, but this is all like, I think I put some mud terrain as well, make it look natural. It's all quite natural, and this is where I find that shift click, and I just get out a load of rocks and then move them slightly so they don't all look like the same rock, even though they are totally all the same rock. And then I do the same with the plants as well, so the landscaping looks like it comes together a bit faster. Oh, look at that. It looks good in sped up 8 times, looks super fast. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that more in the future, because it must be painful for you to watch me just pull out some plants one by one. I actually saw this, I've been watching Plumbella's speed videos, and she landscapes so quickly, it looks so good. So I wanted to do something like that, really, but that's all down to the shift click. And actually, if you're in the Sims 3 camera mode, you can hold the shift and the alt together, so you can actually can freely move all of the objects that you pull out, and also get the object without having to pull it out when you place one. So yeah, it's a little tip. Then I thought I'd move, oh yeah, that's just me moving the barbecue closer to the table, because I thought that would be really annoying. Then I'm just putting some plant pots down and some miscellaneous things that your Sims can use. The Roswells, I should say. And yeah, this is just me making like a little, what's the word? Allotment, that was it. A little allotment. So I just put some plants in there and some planter boxes. I don't know if you can actually use the planter boxes I pull out. I mean, it's all for show. So I pull out those seasons plants. They look so good. They so look like allotments. And this is me just putting some bee boxes down and just making the terrain paint a bit muddier and like natural, like just like a natural walkway that's come about from them just walking everywhere rather than super manicured, just to match the surroundings. And now we're on the interior, and I wallpaper first, which I don't normally do, but I think, God, there's so many rooms, I can't like individually, I can't like furnish a room and then decide what wallpaper matches for all of the rooms. Like, there's so many rooms, so we just use one that I think it looks pretty, like what you'd find in a Victorian home with the wooden panelling, I think. And this is just me making a little cluttered area where you put your coats, and there's a bag there. I don't know who would be using that bag. Again, I think I'm still on autopilot before realising that they don't actually have kids. Just like when I make a house this big, there's always kids in the house, but it's just them two. So, but thank God, she becomes pregnant autonomously, so I could use them trying for a baby as a way to as an excuse to put the nursery down, because there's already like a guest bedroom, and then I actually make a junk room. It's just like, oh my God, too many rooms in this house. Like upstairs anyway, it's like 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, or maybe 4 bathroom. This is the formal like entertainment lounge. So as I said, we end up having like a study and a family area, and this is their formal lounge, like when the mayor of another place comes over, or the military personnel, because apparently like Ted's idea was the secret lab or something, I don't know, and he's like maybe a conspirator or something. But yeah, so I just make this quite posh looking, really. It's kind of like, it's not that fun, it's just brown. And then again, I don't know, please feel free to remove those bookcases, or when I upload this, I might actually, because this is still me not really thinking and cluttering up with kids stuff before thinking the Roswells don't have a kid. But yeah, so I think when I upload it, I haven't uploaded it yet as I'm talking, so I think when I upload it, I will actually remove that bookcase, just put a more boring one as well, especially if this is like the formal conference room. And then we put some CDs in, and that CD player, I don't know what it's called, I've forgotten. And yeah, so originally the kitchen was in that corner, but I didn't have room to put an island, and I was like, I really want to put an island. So yeah, we end up putting an island in the middle, and then that space to the left just becomes like a kind of breakfast area. which I really like doing breakfast areas. And thank God we get this oven with snowy escape, because I can make a built-in kind of oven into the island, and I think that looks really nice. So yeah, this is just us making the breakfast area. And yeah, as I said, I really like doing this because I feel like it looks really, I just feel like it looks really inviting and nice, and I would love something like a breakfast area, just like an informal kind of sitting area, whenever I get a house. And yeah, this is just me. I put a lot of effort into cluttering these shelves up. I don't even know what I put, just everything. I think that's why, like, I haven't been using the snowy escape counters for a while. Actually, I use them in this build, and I actually use them for the bathroom, and I really like them for the bathroom because I put a load of towels underneath, and I think they look really good. But for the kitchen, I always run out of items, especially if you've got like a lot of counters. But I'm sure, because the wood tones they're quite varied in that snowy escape counter, so I think they could, like, surely they can match some counters we've already got in the game, and then you can just have like one counter that's got a load of shelf space, right? But yeah, I do love cluttering bathrooms up, so this is me just giving them some decorative plates and this, that and the other. Like, I don't envision that they have like a butler or anything, although yeah, maybe they should if he's the mayor. But no, I quite like this, as it's quite tasteful, and it looks like they actually use the kitchen as well. Because, I mean, this is the mayor's home. Oh, and then I put a bar down. Because we have the Atlas bar, and then we have this bar, so they actually have two bars in their homes. But, I mean, if they're entertaining local military and scientists and other mayors, mayors that they, I don't know, talk to, mayor of Windenburg or whatever, then I guess, it makes sense. So yeah, as you can see, I have so much space in this kitchen that I can actually fit a table and chairs in, and the breakfast corner, and a breakfast bar. So at this point I'm like, my God, what am I going to do with the dining room? So we just turn it into a study cum family room, as I said, just something a bit more informal. But I mean, the only thing really formal here is that living room. And yeah, this is just me trying to clutter the walls up with stuff, just trying to make it look really lived in. Those sconces are great for covering walls as well, and I do really like that that mirrored thing that we get from Dine Out with the planting. And are we done? I think we just add a couple of rugs. Yeah, just add some nice tasteful rugs, and then we're on to the bathroom. So I do all four at the same time because they basically all look the same. And this is where I pull out those snowy escape counters that I was talking about, and I just put a load of towels in them, and I think it looks really nice. I think it looks really good. So yeah, all of the bathrooms are really spacious as well, so I can put these counters everywhere. I just think that looks so good, because I never have room in my bathrooms to put like a load of towel racks. And I know, like, we've got this like beautiful piece of furniture from Eco Lifestyle that's it's just a huge shelving unit with towels on, but it's too big, like I just can't put it anywhere. So I really liked those counters because you could just put the towels on them. And this is just me just trying to fill up the huge deck, so I just put a little bench in the corner, chest table, chairs with a chest table, and this is just me adding a little table and chairs on all the balconies. And I put a little candle down just to light it up at night. So, but yeah, I mean, feel free to add a bit more to balconies. I never get my Sims to actually sit at a balcony, so I just think, like, they're just never on the balcony, so I don't put too much effort into balconies, to be honest. This is just me doing that little towel trick that I like. We're almost over with all the bathrooms. I know it's a bit boring just watching me put the same stuff in the bathrooms, but I didn't know whether you guys like watching absolutely everything, so I didn't want to like trim anything out. Because I don't know, there's something like satisfactory about watching a speed build and then everything's included. Maybe it's just me, I just don't like when huge bits are skipped out of speed builds, so I didn't want to do that. And this is just the little ensuite for the master bedroom, so the mayor and his wife's bedroom. And yeah, there's literally just a toilet and a sink, nothing else in this room. But we do put some paintings on the wall just because, yeah, I kind of ran out of things to put. And then, yes, a little planter. So now we go on to the mayor and his wife's bedroom, and I'm so sorry, I do lose some footage of this, so you will see like a stop and start motion. I say I hate when I see speed builds and they're skipped out, and this is just me like skipping a load of stuff out. But honestly, I didn't realise that I wasn't. Here it is. Here's the stop motion. But yeah, I didn't realise that I wasn't recording. And now we're back, and now it's normal. But yeah, I just like undid all of that and then recorded it again and redid my changes so I can make that little stop motion. But it wasn't for very long. And yeah, this is just me adding that chaise longue because I think that looks really nice from the Vampire Stuff Pack. And yeah, just this is like a guest bedroom, but we've cluttered it up a little bit. I mean, not really, but it does look a little bit lived in for a guest bedroom. But oh well, maybe they need to tidy up the guest bedroom. What else do I put down? Oh yeah, just a little coat rack, and then these shelves. And I think that's it for this bedroom, just a big rug. Then we move on to the corridor, and I just put all the paintings under the sun up just to fill up the room, to be honest. Use that Strangerville painting a lot, but of course the place is so big I can't just use that. I normally do though. And then we just put a little rug. We just put a few rugs, and the rugs are kind of like scattered. They're like, yeah, not like perfectly placed. And we did have a huge room that you'll see I just divided. And this is just the Roswells just getting ready for a little one. Or twins maybe, because I think I put 2 bassinets down. Or, I mean, they're expecting twins, or they're just really going to get busy over the next few years, just churning kids out. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun to add a little fishbowl. And then obviously we've got the llama table. And this is just like a really fun room for the family. Yeah, I didn't know what else to do with all of this space. It's so much. I still think I ended up furnishing it a bit better than EA though. And actually my favourite room is the study. Really do like the study. We'll get onto that literally now. So yeah, I really like what I do. So I get like a load of end tables out that look like cabinet drawers, and then I get a desk out and then I size up. So you can see that the cabinet drawers are kind of like, well, I mean, not anymore, but the cabinet drawers were like on top of the desk, but then I just raised the desk up one. And this is me just like making a shelving unit for all of the books. Yeah, there's a lot of books. And I also cover up, because obviously we don't have kind of angular desks that can be placed on diagonals. So I cover this harsh edge up with some books that I size up. So as you can see there you go, I size the books up, and then I put some more books on top of the books. So yeah, there's just a kind of like haphazard scattering of books in this study, which I really like. It feels like it's really used. I mean, he's a mayor, so I just imagine he's in here just kind of like writing I don't know, do they write things down? Anyway, I quite liked it. And I was originally thinking, I mean, his wife, I can't remember her name. Is it Meredith? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I don't actually know what she does. She's unemployed, like most of the Sim town is. So maybe she got a job as like a professor or something. We've got one of the research and debate computers. And yeah, just liked the idea of them kind of working together. And this is where I make a kind of bespoke baby changing unit. All fake, of course, because babies are bassinets. So yeah, I just make that. Actually, it's really funny. The other day I was talking to my sister, and we talk about, she watches my YouTubes. Of course she watches my YouTubes, and we talk about my YouTube. And she hasn't played The Sims since like The Sims 1 or something. And we were chatting, and she was just like, oh my god, do you remember when babies were just bassinets? And I was just like, Ness, they're still bassinets. And she was just like, she was outraged. She was like, what? really, still, how many years has The Sims been going? And I'm like, yeah, 20 years. The Sims 4's been out 6 years. And she's like, that's terrible that babies are still objects. I'm like, oh no. It was just funny because she was like discovering this for the first time, and I was just so blasé about it because we know. But yeah, of course, she was shocked, which makes me think we should be more shocked. But I mean, we've just come to kind of expect it, right? But yeah, I found it funny that she was finding it out for the first time and then just her outrage. But anyway, that was the nursery, and we're just making a miscellaneous junk room, and this is actually the end of the build. So thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, and if you would like to see more content from me, please hit subscribe. Catch you later.